everyone, welcome back. Let's give it a couple of minutes. We are in our part 4. Now, this is really an interesting part where we are going to talk about compliance as well. So compliance is very, very, very important together with training. And this is where I spent the majority of my work is focusing on our compliance in the industry with our members, how we can make you more compliant. We also have, once again, a number of lucky draws. So that is something else to look forward to. Our presenters in this session will be Bosch Maree and Associates, Welltech, and Moonstone. They are going to provide us with some interesting information. So for the first one, let's just look at the lucky draws again. How to enter. Please complete the poll via Zoom, attend the Digital Expo and for the lucky draws, and please no service providers. I'm going to give you a little bit more time because last time we had a little bit of a problem with the lucky draw. So I'm going to give you about a minute to complete it. Yes, maybe I should talk about the service providers. Right, let's go to our first presenter, Bosch Maree and Associates. And let's hear what they have to say. Lizelle will be presenting to us. Lizelle, over to you.
Thank you, Leonie. Let me just share my screen. Right, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure being a part of this expo and very well done. Congratulations and well done to everyone presenting. Today I just want to give you a brief overview of what what services Bosch Maree and Associates provides to the industry and overview. So Bosch Maree and Associates is a fully fledged firm. Oh, let me just, sorry. Why is it not going to change? There we are, sorry. So Bosch Maree and Associates is a fully fledged firm and we specialize in the following areas. Credit, competition and consumer law, corporate and commercial law, including drafting and vetting of commercial agreements, civil and commercial litigation and dispute resolution, estate planning, wills and deceased estates, conveyancing and property law, and notarial services. So now the most important part of the presentation and the most applicable is then the credit provider registration and compliance services that we provide. So everything starts with you registering as a credit provider. If you want us to assist you, we can assist with your NCR registration application as a credit provider, where we give you guidance in what to complete. We can provide a pack, a credit provider registration pack, which will make the process much easier. We then also further assist with your business startup after registration, which systems you can implement and what you need to do to get everything up and running. Most of our clients then also sometimes don't get their registration renewal certificates, and because we've got a good relationship with the NCR, we liaise with the NCR to obtain your registration renewal certificates. Once a credit provider or a client then also decides not to proceed with their registered activities, we can assist with the voluntary deregistration process, where we then complete the Form 10 and draft a supporting affidavit for you, which is then submitted to the NCR Registrations Department. With compliance, we always advise our clients not to wait for an instructional letter. Make sure that you have all your processes in place to comply with the Act. In this regard, we provide a compliance spot check, which is like a dummy desktop compliance assessment that we provide to our clients, and this can be done on site or via digital platforms. So in this regard, we'll ask for a client to provide a few sample agreements, and we'll check compliance from your documents, from your credit agreements, right through up until your affordability assessments. We then also provide NCA compliance for training to staff, also just to bring them up to speed what they should look for and what things they shouldn't be doing. Now, once a client receives the instructional letters from the NCR after a desktop compliance assessment was done, we then assist clients in either responding on their behalf to the instructional letter, or we provide guidance on how they can answer the NCR. Now, in this regard, we then also, if we do it on behalf of the client, deal with all other related correspondence with the NCR. We also assist clients in drafting policies for implementation, which can all range from a credit granting policy so that your business runs smoothly while after implementation. We also further provide guidance with the completion of your annual compliance and insurance engagement reports. You'll all know that you need to submit those 6 months after your year end. Then the dreaded NCR investigations. Now that's where everyone always seems to, lose a bit when they receive that dreaded letter from the NCR. In this regard, we can either assist a client in advising how to proceed beforehand, or we can attend those investigations with you during if it's conducted digitally. So once the NCR has now conducted an investigation and they found contraventions, they will usually then start the enforcement proceedings, and they'll do a referral application to the tribunal. In this regard, we represent and assist the client with the referral applications to the National Consumer Tribunal. And this ranges from the beginning, opposing the application, drafting of the pleadings, negotiating settlements on behalf of the client, drafting of the settlement agreement. And then once the settlement agreement is accepted and it's approved by the National Consumer Tribunal, we will then conduct a compliance audit in terms of the settlement agreement. This compliance audit usually entails identifying the affordability assessments where it wasn't done correctly, and recalculations of the cost of credit. If the matter cannot settle, we will then argue the matter on your behalf at the tribunal. Just another service that we provide is for consumers that are under debt review. Usually in this case, if a court order hasn't been granted yet, we can assist consumers with a formal application to court for the removal of the debt review. Unfortunately, the consumer must meet certain requirements, and that would be that a debt restructuring order has not been granted yet. Now, our legal services are not only limited to credit providers, but we also provide services to various stakeholders in the credit industry, which include service providers in the insurance, payment systems, and loan management system space. We also focus on POPI compliance in drafting of a POPIA and POIA manual, drafting of an information officer policy, and then assist our clients with registration with the information regulator. Then just lastly, just to touch on a few other services that we provide. Now, you all know that estate planning and drafting of a will is essential for your financial planning. We provide this service free of charge if we are nominated as an executor. The purpose of this is to ensure that your assets are disposed of in accordance with your wishes, to avoid unnecessary taxation and achieving an efficient administration of your estate. We also do conveyancing and property law, and that will range from transfer of properties as a result of or in terms of liquidations, court orders, divorces, donations, and deceased estates, subdivision and consolidation of properties, consent and endorsements required in the conveyancing process, rectification of transfers, and registration and cancellation of private mortgage bonds. If you require notary public services, we do drafting and certifying of official documents for South Africa and abroad, drafting of anti-nuptial contracts if you're about to get married, notarial deeds and contracts, and then also attesting, authenticating and notarizing documents for foreign use. And that's it from my side. Thank you, Leonie, and good luck to the lucky winner.
Great, thank you so much, Lizelle. So Lizelle also assists the MFSA members and the MFSA with a number of compliance requests. So usually we have a couple of service providers to whom we refer certain cases, and Lizelle and Gerrit is definitely those service providers. So Bushmare also have a lucky draw, and there's one winner. And the prize is the 2,500 Rand Lekker Slaap voucher. Now, guys, this is an amazing prize. I think after this year, everyone needs a breakaway. So just make sure that the borders remain open, but let's do that spin and see who is the winner. Right. Mudirwa, are you?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much. You made my day.
That is wonderful. If you didn't plan a holiday, you can plan one now. So thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Perfect. That would be great. Came very, very handy.
Yes, amazing. Or you can just extend your holiday. It's such a great
no, see what to do. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Maria and Associates. Thank you, Mudirwa, for attending. Yes, up next, we will have a presentation from Moonstone. Great. Let's welcome Gerrit.
Perfect. Thanks, Leonie. Thank you to all the MFSA members and for the opportunity to do the presentation. I'm just quickly going to start my screen share. Okay, so I more or less started the NCA service offering at Moonstone 4.5 years back, and coming from a credit bureau background where the loan management system that also operated the loan management system, I just noted there was quite a need for assistance within the credit market when it comes to compliance. So what we often try to do is I normally say legal advisors will tell you what the Act says, but operationally you need to also know how to implement those specific requirements. And that's where we believe we more or less bridge the gap between what the legislation and the regulations require and how to practically implement it in your day-to-day activities. So we really try to build a relationship with all our clients. We've got approximately over 35 ongoing credit provider clients that we assist on an ongoing basis, and I'll get to that a little bit later. And yeah, we need to get involved in your business and understand what's going on to adequately advise you in terms of your compliance requirements. So when we go to our service offering, I'm going to cover a couple of items. I'm not going to bore you too much with exactly, well, I'll get to that a little bit later, but I first want to talk about specifically the areas of concern that we see currently within the micro lending industry that will affect your business from a compliance perspective. So first of all, and Lizelle also touched on that, is the NCR desktop audits and investigations, which focuses on the reckless lending, rates and fees, and more or less the compliance reporting. That is something, and I honestly believe, and it's unfortunate that the micro lenders are an easy target for these types of desktop audits and investigations. And to be honest with you, I've seen findings that you get in the micro lending industry is almost exactly the same as what you get on the bigger retail credit providers as well. But with the micro lenders, the NCR, they know how the loan management system works or looks like the fees, rates and fees are calculated. And a lot of you guys more or less, I believe you guys are easy targets. So that's something that is quite of a concern from a compliance perspective. Something in addition to that, that I believe is also an area of concern is compliance with additional legislation. I'm not going to bore you too much with the Protection of Personal Information Act, but other items that you guys should also be aware of is FICA, the Financial Intelligence Center Act. It's just a matter of time when credit providers will also become accountable institutions. And that's a completely different ballgame from a compliance perspective, complying with FICA. To just give you an idea, it's not a process where you go to the tribunal and the tribunal can only give you a fine. The Financial Intelligence Center itself is able to provide fines, and you'll often read in the media of the larger banks and that get fines from the Financial Intelligence Center. Another act that's also applicable to us as a credit industry is the Financial Sector Regulation Act, and specifically the Conduct of Financial Institutions Bill. That's currently just a bill, but that's going to completely revolutionize the whole way that we do business. It's actually quite strange that the provision of credit is not or wasn't already included within the financial services sector. But with the Twin Peaks model and certain changes in the legislation, that is quickly becoming applicable to you guys, and you'll need to know how to address that going forward. So how we can assist you specifically with the desktop audits, and I'm going to focus on this, as we redo everything that the NCR is supposed to do, from the affordability assessments to the calculation of the rates and fees. I've got a very nice manner in presenting that to the NCR to show them, look at whatever allegations they made, hopefully it was wrong and we can provide them with reasons thereof. If not, at least you'll know why some of the processes that were followed wasn't 100% in compliance with the NCA. We also work very closely with your legal advisors, especially if there's tribunal cases. I don't want to say it's almost like we assist and act as an expert witness on your behalf to provide certain evidence during the tribunal cases, especially when it comes to the affordability assessments and the rates and fees. So with the additional compliance areas, at Moonstone, we do have a dedicated privacy and governance specialist, Andrea de Jong. I'll provide you with her details a little bit later as well if you want to contact her. Awareness training, our training leg, Moonstone Business School of Excellence, has got an array of courses, short courses that can be done online. So especially with awareness training, that's something that's invaluable to have or to know of from a business perspective. In terms of the FICA and the Financial Sector Regulation Act and COFI, Moonstone's been operating since 2002. We've got 20 years of experience within the financial services sector. We've got over 1,500 financial service provider clients. So all this new legislation we've been dealing with and are going to deal with it for multiple years. So there's a lot of wealth of knowledge within Moonstone that we are going to apply to the credit providers once this becomes effective. Specifically in terms of FICA, look here, we've done multiple risk management and compliance programs which you guys will need to have. And as I said, from the awareness training perspective, our sister company, Moonstone Business School of Excellence, already has you covered for complying with those specific requirements as well. Okay. In terms of our other services within the NCA space, we do a lot of registrations, also deregistrations. Hopefully, we don't really want to do the deregistration because that takes away from our business. But unfortunately, in these hard economic times, it is a reality. Just to make sure that you close your chapter with the NCR in the correct manner. Ongoing compliance, we act as your outsourced compliance officers. We normally do quarterly or monthly visits depending on your risk appetite. We assist during that process. We assist with communications with the NCR. So we like to be the I don't want to say the interpreters of what the NCR requires from you, but that's more or less what it comes down to. So we deal with the correspondence on your behalf, assist with the registration renewals, obtaining the certificates, all of those admin jobs that keeps you away from doing business. We assist you and try to make your hands a little bit lighter, that you can actually focus on your business, which is the provision of credit. So all of that we also do on an ad hoc basis during our advisory services, statutory reporting, from assisting you to complete the compliance report, submitting that to the NCR, assurance engagement reports, all of that. And we also work closely with your auditors or your accounting professionals to make sure that whatever they do are actually in line with what they should be doing. Desktop audits, yeah, we've spoken about that already. We re-perform the desktop audits in a similar manner, which the NCR are doing. And then we provide bespoke training sessions. And I don't really like to use the word training in this regard. It's more of an interactive consultation where we have a dedicated agenda that we address to make sure that you and your staff members are aware of your requirements, of the compliance requirements in terms of the NCA. And then, needless to say, based on all of this, we also do compliance opinions. If you need certain advice from a compliance perspective, on certain areas, we provide those compliance opinions to you guys as well. Okay. So then if you want to get in touch with us, my details are on the screen there, cell phone number as well. I did mention Andrea de Jong. She's our privacy and governance specialist. And then MBSE, the training platform where you guys can go have a look and see what online courses we do provide. It's easy. It's just www.mbse.ac.za. So that's it from my side. And yeah, I thank you for the opportunity. Leonie, it's always a pleasure working with you guys. And yeah, thank you for sessions like this that gives us the exposure and yeah, just to interact a little bit with the members as well. So thank you for that.
Great. Thank you so much, Gerrit. Actually, I just want to tell our members, you know, there's no excuse now for non-compliance. And we've got lovely service providers that can assist you with your desktop compliance audits, that can assist you with your compliance reports, that can do spot checks on your businesses. So guys, please make sure that you do contact these service providers and make sure that your business is compliant. Up next, we have a video by WellTech Academy. Great, thank you very much. And then I'm going to welcome Paul Lekala, and she's going to do a presentation for you guys. Welcome, Paul.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible enough, Leonie?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the opportunity. We've been waiting for this moment for a very long time, and thanks. And I hope people are still awake by this time as the last presenter. I hope, yeah, they're still listening. Let me start with the, let me share my screen. Can you see it? Sorry.
No, it only shows the end.
Oh, okay. I know what I did. Then share. Okay, can you see it now?
Wait a minute. Yes, we can see it now.
You can see it now. Okay. WellTech Academy is a bank sitter accredited skills development provider. We only registered in September 2020. We knew, but we are ready for the challenge. And we are a training arm of the WellTech group of companies. Our areas of training includes banking. In that area, under banking, we provide further education and training in banking, as well as the national certificate in banking. Under microfinance, we've got the national certificate in microfinance at level 3. And we also have a national certificate in generic management. All these are learnerships, or they can be skills programs. And under governance and compliance, it's a skills program. And under debt review, we've got 2 areas. One area is for the debt counselors, and the other one is for the lenders. For the debt counselors, we have developed a skills program that has been accredited by Bank Sitter right now. And this also is in response to Chapter 5 of the National Credit Regulations that has been amended. Debt counselors employees are required to go through debt review and other courses. So the debt review skills program, that's intended for the debt counselors. We also have a short course under debt review, which is intended for lenders. We have developed a guide for lenders in debt counseling. Our experience is that debt counselors go through a formal training for 14 days, and they write a test and they get certificates. But on the other hand, micro lenders don't go through a formal training. And therefore, sometimes you find that there's a miscommunication. They are not on the same page between, a debt counselor and a credit provider. So most of the, especially from the micro lenders, debt counselors have a challenge in communication with the micro lenders because they don't know what to expect from debt counselors. And I think there hasn't been a formal platform where the 2 parties can come together and share the information and agree on some of the things. It's true there's a central, there's a credit industry forum, but they are lenders that are very far from there. So I'm not sure how far the information filters onto those lenders that are, especially in the rural areas. So we really developed a short course, and that short course will be for the lenders, and that will be presented in a very simple language, simple concepts that we can understand. And from my experience of training debt counselors, I've trained over 200 debt counselors right now. So I know what the challenges that they are going through. And therefore, I'm prepared to share that information with the lenders so that they can be a smooth and more effective communication and understanding between the lenders and the debt counselors. Another area is the customer management in a contact center. We've also developed this skills program, and it has been accredited by Bank Sitter. And then another area is the IT. IT, we do it in partnership with some of our partners. Now, what we offer training services, as I've just explained right now, where the banking, the microfinance, and generic, those are learnerships and skills programs. We also have accredited and non-accredited short courses that I've just highlighted in my previous slide. And all these are online or face-to-face, depending on the requirements of the client. Another area that we can assist the lenders in, especially the small companies, Funding is always a challenge. People say we cannot send people for training, and it's all because of lack of funding. But guess what? There's a levy, the companies are paying a skills development levies, and that's specifically for training. Now, companies have to register with the CSAS for them to access training. And by registering, it does not only refer to all those that are paying a skills levy, but you've got small companies that do not really qualify or that are not expected to pay a skills development levy, as long as they can submit a work skills plan, as well as the annual training report. So we can assist in that because we know it's a very onerous assignment, but we can act as a skills development facilitator for those companies that do not have a skills development facilitator, and therefore we can assist them to fill in or complete the work skills plan as well as the annual training report. And by that, and also assist them in submitting to BENSITA so that they can qualify for the training courses that will be provided by SITA throughout the year. And another thing we can also assist is to provide information on training opportunities that are available. At the moment, from BENSITA, there are funding windows that are open. We've got the IT skills funding, which is opened, and this is for employees. It closes on the 28th of February. So if companies that are not paying levy at the moment, that are not registered, what we can assist is to, once the portal, the service provider portal is open with the BENSITA, we can assist them as quickly as possible to submit their work skills plan before January or before the funding windows open, so that they can qualify to submit the funding request, as well as the pivotal, which those are your learnerships as well as the skills program. Once they are registered, we can also assist them quickly to fill in and submit the work skills plan as well as the annual training report, and then we can submit the funding for pivotal training. Like I'm saying, it's a learnership or skills program, and that must be done before the 28th of February. There are also the online short course funding window is also open, and it closes on the 31st of January. This one, once the companies are registered, we can also assist them to enroll into this short course, and they can send as many employees as possible. There is no limit on the number of employees that should go through this course, and there's also funding for this. So basically, in the macro lending industry or in this industry, training should not be an excuse, right? And remember, there's always a saying that if you're not growing, you're dying. So I support that idea. Can we all grow and develop the industry? I'm sure we can be an example, and we are the best in Africa, by the way. Thank you very much. If you need assistance in this regard, here's our number, 012-111-1611, as well as the email address from our site, info@welltechacademy.co.za. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for listening.
Right, thank you so much, Paul. I think it was a great presentation. Yes, thank you for the information, for sharing it with us. And then you also have a lucky draw for our members. We have 5 winners for this specific lucky draw. So let's see what it is. An e-gift voucher for a learner's guide to debt counseling 2-day course. So let's, Sunay, is all of the prizes for the same voucher?
Yes, Leonie.
Great. So we can spin the wheel 5 times and then we can get the winner. This is actually a great prize. Good. Let's spin. The first winner is Congratulations, Joanna. You will be attending that 2-day course. Let's do the next one. It is from Channel Finance. You are just up and running, Vera. And the next one. Is congratulations. The next one is wonderful. And is this the last one, Sunay?
Yes, last winner.
Great. And the last winner for this training course is congratulations, everyone. Make sure to attend that training. And like I said, we don't have any excuses now for non-compliance anymore. So before we end off with this Digital Expo, the first ever that we've had with the MFSA, please remember to email admin@mfsa.net to redeem your prize. Then also Sunay is going to put in a link for our survey. Please complete that so we can see what you think about the Digital Expo and the information you received. Also remember, it is recorded. We will be putting it on our website. So if you have missed some things, please make sure to look at it again. Yes, remember to fill in our survey. Here it is with SurveyMonkey. Please click on the link. And then we will go into our last fun part with also our last prize. Okay, let's see. So it's a pop quiz. So let me give you 5 minutes to fill in the survey, and then we will get to the pop quiz. So the survey won't even take 5 minutes, it's 1 or 2 minutes. And then we can see what we are going to do with the pop quiz. So the pop quiz, the clue that I can give you, it is applicable to what we spoke about. So, yes. I think this gives enough time. We will for the snack to be completed. But in our winner will be snack voucher. So expensive. And you can basically buy a burger. So enjoy the burger. So are you ready? Okay. What does Bank CETA stand for? And you have to be a quick typer here as well. And we already have a winner.
It's Sunal.
Congratulations, Sunal. The banking sector. Done. You are going to get your voucher to snack on the MFSA. And yes, that is basically the end of our proceedings and of our Digital Expo. We finished 2 hours before time, so now we know for future reference. And we want to thank everyone for attending this session. All of our service providers and all of our members. We will really look into another session like this in the new year. We hope you have a great festive season. Please stay safe, and we will see you in 2022. Have a great day, everyone.